A few years ago, I made a series of YouTube videos looking at what the Bible says about gender and sexuality. And the comments were, well, YouTube. I know. The first rule of the internet is never read the comments, but I just can't help myself. And here's the deal. There are anti-LGBT comments on every single video. Every single one. I hear sometimes that the bigots are getting old and we just have to wait for them to die and then it'll be sunshine and rainbows for queer folks. But that's just not true. Martin Luther King Jr. is credited with saying that the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. But here's the thing, the moral arc of the universe doesn't bend itself, we bend it. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, and countless other activists and everyday Americans bent it when they went toe-to-toe with Jim Crow and a violently racist police force and white public. And honestly apathetic, well-intentioned white folks too sometimes. Jesus bent it when he went toe-to-toe with an occupying Roman Empire. Stephen Biko bent it when he confronted apartheid South Africa. Dorothy Day bent it when she worked relentlessly for economic and social justice. Mel White and his husband Gary bent it when they sat in the front pew of Jerry Falwell's church every single week holding hands. Father Shea bent it when he was the first openly transgender priest ordained in the Old Catholic Church. And you're bending it too. You bend it when you love your queer self, even when you're scared, even when you have doubts, even when you feel all alone. You're bending it when you support your gay brother or your transgender sister. You're bending it when you stop giving money to your homophobic church and you start giving money to your local homeless shelter instead. You're bending it when you tell your story. Progress isn't inevitable, and it isn't something that happens only in the halls of Congress by trained activists. We all have a part to play in bending the moral arc of the universe. We can never take progress for granted. If I've learned anything from YouTube, it's that anti-LGBT theology is alive and well in the younger generation. But I've learned something else too. It doesn't have monopoly. So take a stand, speak your truth, tell your story, and make a difference, because the world needs what only you have to offer.